computer
Got it.
and then stream it live to Facebook, which is going to kick me over here for a second. And we're just going to stream it up.
Got
Hello,
it.
Facebook world. We are here today for our new moon, our first ever new moon sister circle. And I'm here with my actual sister, Emily. We could probably talk about our relationship as sisters for hours, but we are here to set intentions today with the new moon. We're super excited. And so, whether you're joining us right now on Facebook Live or whether you're catching this later today, we have this intention of coming together to be accountable with each other for this new moon energy that happens every month, where we get to set intentions and we get to envision our life. My sister and I have been doing this kind of work for a while, but we both have, and everybody has their own way of setting intentions. So, journaling, meditating. I use astrology, so I'm going to speak to that a little bit. Emily's going to guide us through a guided meditation. And then we're going to just sit and listen to music and write together for, 5 or 10 minutes and just get it down on paper. So come on in, and I hope you'll come join us and do this work with us. It's really important work that we can do collectively together.
Yes. So I'll chime in. So, Barbara and I got a beautiful opportunity over the summer to be together at the Kerrville Folk Festival in Kerrville, Texas. And it's a really special place for us. It's a place where we grew up going with our parents, specifically our mom. And we just spent a lot of our youth there. All of the firsts for us, I think both happened there, and a lot of really amazing experiences. And so going back there this summer was just this magical, like full circle comeback. And we got to spend so much time sitting together. And both my sister and I have been on pretty amazing journeys through trauma and difficult marriages and divorce and children and separation and my sobriety and my sister's sobriety. And so we've both just had this like pathway of working through life, and we've found ways of healing, and we started sharing those with each other over this summer, and kind of came up with the idea that wouldn't it be cool if we started something and could bring other women, people, humans into the equation with us.
And here we are.
Yeah, share
For
some of these
me,
experiences.
it like really started at the moment that our mother passed. Our mother was an astrologer. We stood together and we were holding each other right underneath the skylight, actually right over there. And we both looked up and had this sudden realization that we were standing underneath a full moon that was shining through the window. And so we've got this deep connection to the moon related to our mother. And so coming together at this time is already special, and bringing some other women into that, just really realizing and understanding and manifesting that connection that we can have together has become hugely important and impactful in our life. And so I'm going to go ahead and screen share, and I'm going to give you guys a new moon astrology reading. So what I've got is I have the chart actually for today pulled up in my astrology app, and I'm going to pull it over just a little bit so everybody can see it. So for this new moon, we have the moon and the sun and Mercury over here in Virgo. And so new moon energy is really about setting intentions. And with the moon conjunct the sun, it's about setting intentions around our raw being. Your raw being through this sun energy is really who you were when you came to this earth, with the intentions that you have when you come here before you're affected by the rest of the world, right? Before you're affected too much by other people, your soul really has this intention. And so using this moon energy, we're going to set intentions today. And we're going to ask you to really get in touch with that raw being. Who are you? Behind all the clutter, behind all of your mental chatter, behind the racket that you tell yourself and that the world tells you all the time, What is your raw being? And how can you use this Virgo energy of being really detail oriented and really analytical? Our father is a Virgo. He's like a super Virgo. He has lots of planets in Virgo, and he's a scientist and he's a researcher. So think of yourself as your own researcher, and you're coming in and you're really looking at, who am I? Who am I, and what do I intend to do while I'm here? There's also mercurial energy. As a lot of people know, there's a lot of planets retrograde right now. Mercury is one of those planets, but it's actually going direct today. So your ability to communicate with yourself and communicate with the world about these intentions that you're setting with your raw being is going to have some energy today. You're going to be able to communicate in ways that you haven't been able to, maybe, that have felt a little bit confusing and stinted. Maybe you've been having like technology issues, whatever the thing, or having to repeat the same thing over and over and over again is another like Mercury retrograde energy. So just know that with Mercury going direct today, there's a big opportunity to be able to communicate these things into the world. And there's a really beautiful aspect of the astrology, which is a grand trine in earth signs today. So we have this Virgo energy, this earth sign over here of this new moon, and it's 120 degrees from Pluto energy that's happening in Capricorn. Pluto just made its first return back to where it was when the United States of America was founded. And so, as a country, as communities, as families, and as individuals, we're really dealing with massive transformation. The death, maybe, of what we have seen ourselves as, the death of some definition that we had for ourselves ages ago. And I love the Alan Watts quote where he says, "You are under no obligation to be the same person that you were 5 minutes ago." And that's absolutely true for us as individuals, our families, our communities, and for us as a country. There's still a lot that we can do with this intention setting together to really guide like overall evolution in a different direction. So I love the energy of that. Also, 120 degrees from that Capricorn Pluto energy is this other line of the grand trine, which comes all the way down to Uranus and Taurus.
Uranus.
Uranus. It's your choice. You can say it however you want. No matter what, it always comes up. Like, it doesn't matter which way you say it. Somebody talks about their anus. So Uranus or Uranus is the planet of self-individuation in the way that I read charts. And so what that means is, how do you define yourself as an individual? How do you define yourself apart from the collective? What are the boundaries and the borders and the edges of who you are that make you who you are? Like, this is who I am. This is who I'm not. This is what I'm willing to do. This is what I'm not willing to do. These are the types of things I say. These are the types of things I would never say, right? So with our transformation, using the intention of our raw being and our ability to communicate about that, we are now also maybe redefining, maybe creating an expansion, because we have also this Jupiter energy over here. Jupiter is the planet of expansion, abundance, enlightenment. So you may be like really expanding this definition of who you are. A trine often represents hidden skills and talents that can really benefit you. So when you do your intention setting today, I urge you to really focus on a couple different things. The first thing is, who are you really? What are the skills and the talents that you can put into play that maybe you never have before? Maybe these are things you know about yourself. Like, you're a really good chef. You're really good at talking to people. You're really great at organizing. You're really good at like decorating, whatever the hidden skills and talents you might have. How can you use those things to expand your vision of who you are and what your intention here on this earth is? This is a transformation process, like I said, up in Pluto. So really take that time to think about that. The second thing I'd ask you to focus on is that there is this Neptunian energy in opposition as well to the new moon. Neptune is your dreamscape. It can sometimes look like disillusionment, like a veil of delusion, like maybe something you can't see through. Maybe there's some substance use, or maybe you just have a tendency to daydream so hard that you lose touch with reality. But when we can develop a clear vision, then we can really make some things happen in the world. And when you start to use that dreamscape and that ability that you have to envision in a very pointed and focused and clear way, then it can really benefit your life. So that with this Neptunian energy, if you've had any confusion, anything in your life that's just been disorienting or hard to understand, these gifts that we're finding through the grand trine and this grounded earth energy can really help you face some of those challenges of disillusionment. So those are just a couple things to think about while we're doing our intention writing later. But before we do that, Emily's going to guide us through a meditation. And so we're just going to put some music on and she will give you her own introduction to this process. But really
First of all, I
important.
have to say, Barbara, your way of explaining all this is so eloquent and beautiful. I can tell that you were meant to be doing what you just did. The way that you speak about all of this and the flow of your words, it's just, I'm kind of in awe. So I just want to acknowledge you for that because it's, you're my little sister and we
Oh,
fought, did all sorts of crazy shit together. And to see you coming into your womanhood and doing stuff like this, it's just,
thank
shoot,
you.
I'm all
Well,
the
I do it in private. I do it in private with people all the time. It's definitely one of my passions.
Mhm.
And if anybody's looking to have their chart read, you can definitely reach out to me. But what I love about it is how deep we're able to get with each other. You're able to look at these specific areas of your life and these specific energies in your life and really drill through that with another human being, and for me, it's like better than therapy in some ways because it's a little bit more like raw and real in a
Mhm.
way for me. I'm able to dig in a different way with people. And so, yeah, I love doing it. And
Of
thank you. I appreciate that.
course.
This is why sisters are great.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
we
so the
love
other
each-
thing I want to say before we drop into a meditation is just that Barbara and I totally did this on the fly today. This was not planned out. We definitely decided that we wanted to do something like this, but we didn't really talk about what we were going to do and how we were going to do it. And literally yesterday, or she was like, we should do a new moon intention circle online live. And I was like, wait, we haven't planned anything. And this is my whole existence for most of my life. Wait, we didn't plan it. We have to plan it. It needs to be perfect. We've got to line it up and make it just so. And so this is a huge exercise for me specifically today in just showing up and trying it and fumbling through it and possibly fucking it up and loving that process too. And so you guys are literally witnessing this for the very first time. I've never done anything this live and unhinged. So
Ooh, let's go.
I'm not a professional meditation guider. So disclaimer, this may not be like some magical meditation, but we're gonna just drop in and I will introduce this by saying meditation every day has become the most precious time for me in my life. And I don't know if I can credit any other thing towards helping me find peace within my own body, solace within my own space, the ability to sit with my own self without any chatter, without any other voices or opinions or thoughts or feeds or pictures, and just be with myself and my breath and my body and the space. So it's become incredibly valuable to me. So Barbara just got to share the thing that's transformed her life, and I will now share the thing that's transformed my life. So if you want to just close your eyes, um, and hopefully there's not a lot of noise where you're at, but even if there is, hopefully you can tune in. So just take a minute to be with us here. Take a nice deep breath in through your nose, all the way up, and hold it at the tippy top. See if you can sip a little bit more air, and then exhale through your mouth. We're going to do that one more time. Deep inhalation in through your nose, nice and slow and deep. When you get to the top of your breath, hold it for a second. Take in a little more air. And then exhale. If you can make noise when you exhale this time. Just get some of that energy out. I like to shake sometimes in between my breaths. Move it out. We're going to do one last breath together. We're getting connected with our body. I sometimes like to think of just the sheer fact that we have this breath. And getting connected with the breath is one of the easiest ways to kind of drop in and start a meditation. And so you just breathe at your own pace, in through your nose, out through your mouth, whatever's comfortable for you. And just noticing the breath, noticing the way the air feels coming in through your nostrils and out through your mouth, listening to the sound. And the more you pay attention and the quieter your mind gets, and the more you're focusing on your breath, the more you can feel the vibration of your body, which every single cell in our body is vibrating. But the easiest to pay attention to is this breath and the sound that it makes coming in and out. And I like to honor all the other parts of my body that are working pretty much behind the scenes. They're involuntary. I don't think about my heart beating. I don't think about my breath, but all day long, these pieces of me are just working for me and serving me all day without question, complete devotion. And so we all came in here with something today. You know, it's a conflict in your life, something difficult, a rough morning, a sick child. Maybe you're sick yourself with a cold. Maybe you're in a fight with your partner. Maybe your car got damaged. Whatever it is, there's something that you came in here with that's just kind of sitting on you. And so I want you to visualize whatever that thing is. And you imagine it kind of latched onto you. And its tendrils are just kind of plucked into your skin. And you can just feel it. And throughout your day, you know, it's just there. And you just wish to be rid of it. So we're going to get rid of it. And so with every breath we take, we're going to visualize this thing and every single tendril slowly releasing its grip from our body. And with every breath, you imagine it slowly coming off of you and just kind of hovering. So it's now not on you anymore, within you. It is hovering just above your body. And with every time you exhale, you're going to blow this thing further and further away. So it just starts to blow past you. And I want you to visualize it going as far as you can see it go, just infinitely out in the distance with every breath. And so to be with our body as we're about to set some intentions for our life and the lives of the people around us. We are now clear. We can see and we can hear and we can feel. You can just sit with your breath, keep your eyes closed. Take the last few breaths. I'm going to do a little something now, which you can either experience and feel or open your eyes and watch. I'm going to light some Palo Santo. If you don't know what this smells like, it's got a really earthy, beautiful smell. Hopefully you can see that smoke and feel it. This is going to help bring some new energy to this circle to help you set some intentions. So I'm going to turn some music on. And Barbara's going to introduce a little bit about, you know, what you could write about and what you could think about when you're writing your intentions.
Yeah, so journaling has been a part of my life for a really long time. And I really started by trying to write songs. Our mother was a musician and she was constantly jotting down lyrics in notebooks that would just be sitting all over the house. And it would be, you know, lyrics and little one-liners and notes about astrology and planetary symbols. And she just like got so into it. And I look back now at that journal writing and the things that I chose to write about. And I can really read when I look through my old journals, the progression of how I've worked through different themes in my life. And so we mentioned, setting intentions, and we mentioned things that may have been weighing us down that we can really release energetically. Maybe that's something that you're going to focus on, that theme. Maybe it's something in your career, something about just who you are. Maybe you've been behaving in a way, been an actor in your own life, in a way that you're ready to get rid of. You're ready to develop and expand a part of who you are. You're going to go to an open mic night and show the world your poetry. You're going to show up differently for your kids. You're really going to be that strong, stable rock, or that source of health and well-being. There's so many ways that you can set intention in your life, and you know what it is. Nobody knows you the way that you know yourself. And sometimes people can see things about you that you can't see too. My mother used to say that everybody lives inside of a box. Um, and the directions on how to get outside of the box are sometimes written on the outside of the box. Okay, so maybe your intention is about listening to the world around you and understanding which voices you can trust. Being here in this sister circle, these are things that we can do with each other too. So when you're writing your intention today, just know that all this work that you do with yourself is work that you will eventually be able to do with your sisters as well. How can you use these skills that you're building for intention setting and truly seeing yourself and bring that into your relationships? That's another aspect. So we just invite you to grab a piece of paper and a pen. If you want to light some Palo Santo, if you want to light a candle, I've made myself a drink of cacao and sacha inchi this morning to have
Cacao, cacao.
cacao to have just like as a ceremonial thing that I've been doing in the mornings to not be drinking coffee. Um, do something nice for yourself real quick. Help yourself become really fully comfortable so there's no distractions. And we're just going to throw some music back on and think about those things. Anything that came up for you during the astrology report, during the meditation, those are things that are on the forefront of your being. Those are the things that are resonating for you right now energetically. So let that be the fodder. Let that be the material that you work with to set your intentions.
Okay, here we go. Hopefully this music works. Of course, and because how many planets are in retrograde?
Yeah. Uh-huh. Okay, Mercury's coming out of retrograde, so we should have some at least positive push for the music.
Okay, here we go.
All righty.
Coming
Drop
back.
in. Oh, wait, change that setting so that it makes it play beautifully. Whatever that setting was.
Is that not working?
It's just having that like echoey effect. And last time there was some setting that you did on your computer to where it made it sound seamless and lovely.
We'll try it again.
Okay.
Melting, 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 all that's frozen.
It still sounds funny.
Go, go.
I don't know what you did last time,
I
but
did
you like hit some button and then all of a sudden it was like this amazing.
no, maybe mute yourself, Barbie.
Okay. Oh,
Of the sorrow, dissolve it into love, all the shadow. We all are
it
is
still sounds funny. We have to do it a different
we
way.
are best.
because
of
it's gonna
love.
be hard for
We
people.
are expressions of the divine. We are one. We are brings of light. We are vessels
Have
of love. We are expressions of the divine. Sister, hold my hand. You are stronger than you know. We are open to.
it just still sounds super funky. I want people to have like the music experience necessary.
Not
Um,
working.
no, it still sounds like I don't know how to explain. It's not quite an echo, but it's like there's an alien on the control pad or something like that.
Amazing. Okay, so we'll work out this detail for next time. So for now, I guess we're gonna just, maybe that's the universe telling us we need to not have music and we just need to be quiet and kind of sit and write. So let's
Totally.
just do that together, okay? And we'll set a
Okay.
timer for, how about like 6 minutes?
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay, we have about 2 minutes left to give everybody a little time check. Do you have any last thoughts and feelings you want to jot down? Now's a good time. Are you done, B?
Yep.
So, I suppose this is as good a time as any to just maybe share just a tiny bit about what we were kind of calling in the last few minutes we have here. So I have been on this pathway of kind of letting go of my perfectionism, which has been a real hard battle for me. I've fought long and hard with this just deep drive to make sure that I do everything perfect and it sounds right and it feels good and it looks good. And a lot of it is based around what other people think of me, which has been a really difficult way to live my life because I've never really paid attention to what I'm actually doing and how authentic that is. It's always about how I look to others and how it's going to sound. And so coming into this energy, this new frequency, this new vibe of like, let's just stumble through it and see what happens. And let's just pop in on a live with my sister without any plan whatsoever and see what we have created. And so I can't wait to watch this later. I don't even know if I'll watch it later, but I just can't wait to see if anybody even came to this thing, first of all. It may just be you and I talking on live, like who knows, but there's an energy there. There's a freshness to that frequency that I don't get a lot of in my life. And it's helping me feel very alive. So if you
It's
did
very
show up today, I just want to
liberating.
thank you for being here.
It's
And helping me
so
do
liberating. It's like, yeah, it's like I'm gonna go on the roller coaster.
right.
I'm just gonna like I've never been on a roller coaster in my life. They scare the shit out of me, but I'm just gonna get on the fucking roller coaster
Do
and
it.
put my hands up. And there is something that really lends a hand to self-realization about getting raw and real on social media. I don't know what it is, but there's something extremely liberating about it because we put these posts up and we like create this like definition of ourselves online,
Mhm.
but we don't necessarily show like the
Who we really
funky
are.
like what you just look like when you're talking or like
Yeah.
who you are. And like obviously with somebody who's like a close sister, friend, blood relation or not, um, you really get raw and real with that person. That's why you become so close and that's why you become friends.
Yes.
And so yeah, I'm just super thankful for that. And I'm thankful
Me
for
too.
you. And I'm proud of you for doing that. It's an amazing thing that you can do for yourself. And I
Yeah.
think it'll also be meaningful if we do like a private group too at some point.
I
But
think that would be valuable too, because it would be cool to have an actual circle where people are able to share vulnerably without it being posted so that people feel safe to share if they want.
yeah, for
Would be a
sure.
very powerful way to proceed forward. But the other thing I wanted to say just real briefly is that, we've lived in such a time of masculine energy for a long time, which absolutely is necessary. And there's been a lot of creation and building and innovation and invention and scheduling and planning, and that energy has its place and we still need some of it. But I believe just from a lot of the experiences I've had lately and witnessing other people talk about it a lot, is that we're coming into a time of receiving, which is a very awkward feeling for most people. I do not know how to receive. And so what I mean by receiving is, instead of going out there and solving and fixing and doing and building, it's time to get quiet and to start listening to nature and our bodies and the world and those around us, and receiving some messages. And so that's one of the other things that I'm calling in with my intentions, and hoping that we can generate some energy around that together, Barbie,
Oh,
to
I
help
love
people
that.
get into that frequency.
I love that. Yeah. There's in astrology, there's planets that are yang planets and planets that are yin planets. And so that yin energy that's identified with the feminine, which really has nothing to do with what like actual sex you are or anything like that. But that yin energy is a pulling in energy.
Mhm.
You know, these definitions of energy mirror the design of our anatomy, but many other things as well. Flowers which open
Yeah.
and close, you know. So know yourself, and when are you opening and moving out and asserting yourself? And when are you coming in and pulling in and allowing yourself to receive? These are really beautiful cycles that when you can become sensitive to them and recognize them, you start to be able to use those energies as a resource, you know, and when you're working with it that way, you know, it's like a little kid on a soccer field who accidentally kicks the ball into the goal versus like a professional soccer player who like kicks the ball like 30 miles per hour straight into the
Curves it
center.
in.
Yeah, and it
Yeah.
like curves, right? It's like all the pathway is like designed. So yeah, so it's a really good practice for that reason. And for myself today with my intentions, I've had a lot of feelings and notions during all these retrogrades of feeling really cluttered, not only with my resources, like I've got a garage outside that's like full of all of my older son's things from his apartment that he moved out of, all of my younger son's things that he just like refuses to go through because he doesn't have time, and all of the things that were my mother's that I haven't gone through yet, that I swore to myself I was just going to pick a few things, you know, and it was going to be like this process I was going to put myself through. Anyways, so there's literally just like stuff stacked up in my garage, and it's like all the snowboarding stuff and the china dishes from so and so, and it's just so cluttered. Additionally, in my relationships, I've felt really cluttered for a while, where like I know what I would like to see the relationship look like, but there's all this like baggage and gunk in the way that needs to be like weeds that just
Mhm.
need to be cut away so that my connection with that person is not like so affected by all the clutter. Um,
That's beautiful.
so clearing for me right now is a big intention. It's that Neptunian energy, all that gunk and funk, and it's just feeling like this veil that I'm just ready to like just get rid of it. And so I was thinking about the mercurial energy of communication, and this Virgo energy of being detail oriented, and how much that can help me by really working through the details. I decided I'm going to do like a garage sale for a few weekends in a row. Of course, it's been raining on for several weekends in a row, so I haven't been able to do it. But I'm just going to put tables out, and I'm just going to put the shit out on the table.
Yep.
And that's what I'm gonna do with the people too.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna be like, okay, what shit do I have with this person? And I'm just gonna put it out on the table and spend 30 or 45 minutes with that person, like bargaining about the shit, and get rid of it all and declutter.
Well, it's the same energy, like just showing up without a plan and showing up, and in one of the programs that helped save my life, it's like you stay out of the results business. You
Yeah.
show up what you need to show up for, and you set what you need to set, and you say what you need to say, and then you're done. Like, it's out there, right? So you
Yep.
stay out of the results business of what it looks like on the back end. And as long as you're not doing that in harmful ways, you're good.
Back end.
Yeah. Greatest. On that note, I think it's time to just share that, like, if you, any part of you enjoyed any part of this today and you feel like you want to come along a little adventure with us, I think we're going to try and start organizing this around every new moon. And I mean, we don't know how this is going to go, right? So don't quote us on how perfect this is. We might not do it one month, right? So This is very ad lib and very go with the flow kind of stuff. But if you're interested in doing this with us and joining us, we would love to have you take part in some of these conversations and experiences. So how do they do that, Barbara?
So just go ahead and drop your name in the comments of this live if you would like an invitation, and just write maybe the word invite, and we will invite you to join a group that we're going to put together. It'll probably just start as like a messenger thread with all the people that are interested, which will then turn into a Facebook group for New Moon Sister Circle. And through that page, we can have our lives, we can do all the things. So yes, go on
Cool.
Zoom.
And this is not a paid thing. This is free.
Yeah, this is just,
Not trying to get you to sign up for some course and pay a bunch of money. Maybe that'll happen sometime down the road, but we just really want to kind of open this circle and help other people tap into some of what we've been tapping into, because it's been really helpful for both of us. And it's been a gorgeous way to spend time with my sister.
and I have so many friends all across the country. I've lived in a lot of different places, and I've got friends in Tennessee, and I've got friends in California. I mean, we all have that, but like the amount of time that I get to actually spend with those people, hearing about their life and learning about where they're at and what they're dealing with, like, I just cherish the idea of feeling like I would have a place every month where these people could kind of come together and share and know each other and keep up with each other's lives, in a little bit of a more meaningful way than I just see your pics on your profile or whatever.
I like your post. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well,
Right.
I want to honor you. Thanks for being with me, Emily. This is so special. I can't wait to do it again.
I know, this was cool. It went well. I love you.
Hey, yay. Bye, Facebook world. We'll see you next time. Stop and